Today, I feel smug. To somewhat take a phrase from Gianni Infantino, I feel quite smug today, and it is because of that Victor Gyokeres performance. And it is. Let's adjust the camera slightly. And it is because he put in an absolute masterclass en route to Arsenal beating Burnley. Is that good? I think that's good. En route to Arsenal beating Burnley 2-0 and extending their lead at the top. It was a great first half performance as a team, as a collective, and as individuals. And it was a really important 3 points at a place that, teams have struggled against Burnley. They've made it awkward. It took a Salah last minute penalty. And generally, they've picked up some decent results. The teams that have been promoted this season have shown real fight and been pretty good. I still think we can fix this camera a little bit more. I think that's okay. Apologies for that, everyone. And I can't lie, I do feel a little bit smug, guys. And look, it's not. I understand it's Burnley. You expect Gyokeres to have a good game against newly promoted opposition, but there was a lot of hate, and I want to make this really clear. It's not people in the chat of these live streams. We're all Arsenal fans. We all want Arsenal to do well. It's more rival fans who've ridiculed Gyokeres for the hair flicks and whatever it might be. The heavy touch, the kind of the way he moves, the way he runs. Yeah, it's not like other Arsenal players. He's got a slightly more, rigid style to his play, but he's effective. And I think I saw a lot of people saying this was Gyokeres' best performance in an Arsenal show, with best 45, because he came off at half time, which is such a shame. And again, I slightly push back on that. I think you've got to take into account the opposition, because I think he did this against Newcastle. I think he did this against Atletico Madrid. I think he did not as much, but similar things against Man City. Like, I think this is a player who's been showing this kind of level of performance. The problem is he's done it against tougher opposition. Now against Burnley, which is difficult in other ways, he's played really well again. Only this time everything stuck a little bit more. And instead of 6 or 7 out of 10 things going right, I felt this time it was kind of 8 or 9 out of 10 things going right for him. So it was really, really good to see. Look, I like Victor Gyokeres. I keep making this point. I said it on Loose Cannons a lot. When it was Gyokeres or Sesko, I really wasn't one who pinned myself to one player. Now, some people might call that sitting on the fence. I call it genuinely not having watched enough of either to know who was the right guy. But from the people I spoke to, like Ben Mattinson and others who have watched these guys, I've got a friend who lives in Lisbon who spoke to me a lot about Gyokeres. From speaking to people and researching and looking what Arsenal do, I always said, and sorry to keep labouring the point, sorry to keep repeating myself, I always said, with Gyokeres, it's a case of, if we adapt to his strengths, that's the guy. But if we need someone who's going to be exactly what Arteta wants, and we're happy to let them develop into that, then you go Sesko. Gyokeres is not only proving that we can adapt to him, but I think is showing, especially with today's performance, he can be the centre forward that Arsenal and Arteta need. And if we think for 1 second that Arteta and Berta went on SofaScore, FBref, Transfermarkt, whatever stats website you like to use, if we think for 1 second they went on those websites, looked at his numbers and went, oh, that's good. All right, just drop 55, rising to 65 million on this guy. Of course they didn't. They scouted. They looked at mentality. They looked at his work rate. They looked at his first touch. They looked at his assist record. They looked at his creativity numbers, as well as the goals he can score and how translatable it was to the Premier League. Now, there were doubts. I had some doubts. But I think there's been signs of this coming. And the fact that he had a brilliant first 45 minutes is, I think this was coming. What's such a shame is that he didn't play the next 45, because I think he might have got another goal. And I think you can see Arsenal lost a focal point. They lost an avenue to kind of get past or get through Burnley, because Gyokeres was that guy in the first half. Second half, like I said, though, we were professional and we just got it done. As I'm doing this, apologies, guys, I'm also getting my match report out on Goonerverse News. So a lot going on, but let's get your comments. It's good to see you all. Gabriel's an absolute unit. Says, gunning for glory. I totally agree. I'm more than happy with another clean sheet. I agree. Noel says, Trossard was productive today. He was good. Gyokeres haters. No, I wasn't. I was not one of them. Go and have a little look at all my content recently. Prithviraj says Victor Gyokeres is not effective against a 3 centre-back system. That's the games for Kai and Victor Gyokeres to start. For both of them to start. Okay, Saka and Eze on the wings. I don't love it, but it wouldn't surprise me if we saw it. What else have we got? We've got loads of super chats coming in. I'll tell you what, we'll go through those in a second. I've just read one. I wouldn't go this far. I wouldn't say Gyokeres is world class, but he's a good player. And he's better than people are giving him credit for. Yeah, everyone help me get 60k. I'm on the brink. I'd love your help to get to 60k. Okay, right. Should we go through the player ratings? Should we do it? You can see it there on screen. As this always goes, I want your ratings to come through. And we're going to start at the top of the pitch. We're going to start with Victor Gyokeres. Now, unfortunately, I'm giving it 45 minutes of football, but that's not his fault. So I'm going to give him a 9. I'd love to know your ratings in the comments. So we'll go back to Raya. Raya will be next. Let's just start with Gyokeres because he's the player we've all been talking about. I just think he was great. I think he was really strong today against strong Burnley centre-backs, really good hold-up play. And, I think he has an assist. If Saka buries a chance, he should have scored. I think he was... I think his work rate was terrific. He was in the walls. There was one moment in the first half, like in the very first few minutes of the game, I think they had a throw in and they threw it back to the centre back. And Gyokeres just ran in front and just powered into the centre back to try and win the ball. And it ended up going out for another Burnley throw in. But I had this moment, I thought, he's in the wars, this guy, always. And when you fight, things will happen to you, will happen for you. And I'm really, really happy for him. Not mad at a 9, in my opinion, 8, because Rice is man of the match. I thought Rice was brilliant. And we'll talk about him again in a sec. 9 relative to minutes on the pitch. Okay, probably fair. I agree. He could have had 2 assists for Saka. It's an 8. He played really well for 45 minutes and scored a goal. 9 for sure. His hold-up play was immense as to hear he brought others into the game. Cool. All right. So you're all at lowest an 8, but some people are up at a 9, which is great to see as well. Okay. Get your ratings in for Raya. I'm going to give you all 10 seconds to do that. Well, I'll just do a little bit of YouTube admin, but get all your ratings in for Raya in the comment section below. Well, in the live chat. Get them all in there. Because Raya had to make a big save at the end there, didn't he? To maintain the clean sheet. What are you all going for? We've got some 7s flying in. Hi, James, watching from Australia. It's currently 4:13. Gyokeres wasn't man of the match. Okay. So for Raya, we're going with lots of 7s. Raya, solid 7 and 8. Solid 7. I thought his passing was really good today. No, another clean sheet. Thing is, the defense gives him so little to do. I want to agree on a 7. I think it's a 7. Made a really good save at the end. But I'm okay with the 7. 7's still very good. Oh, wasn't it off the post? Sorry, I was running around at this point trying to get everything set up. If it was off the post, then my bad. I thought it was a save. Yeah, but someone's saying it is a save. Hey, big save at the end. Yeah, I thought it was a save. Go, you're making me doubt everything. Poor long kicking. Yeah, maybe. I think we tried to play out the back a little bit more today. I'm happy with the 7. All right, let's go Timber, everyone. Get me your ratings for Timber in the live chat now. While you do that, again, I'm just doing some YouTube admin. Forgive me, people. But thank you for being so patient with me while we do. What are you all going for Duran Timber? I thought Duran Timber, again, was very, very, very good today. Such a calm player. Do you know what? He's kind of like my most trusted player in the team right now. Do you know what I mean? When I say trusted, like when he's under pressure, I kind of know he's going to come away with it. When he's attacking, I know he's going to try to do the right things. When we've got to drop deep, I know he's one for the battle. Whatever the occasion, I just think I trust him as much as I do anyone on that pitch right now. I'm going to go with an 8 too. I've seen a lot of 8s coming in. I mean, Charles is saying, oh, is my mouse okay? My mouse is having a bit of a moment. Why is it doing this? Can we not? Okay, I think it's fixed itself. Charles says Timber is a 7, not a hard game for him. I'm okay with an 8. I thought he was very, very good. The man is too strong. 8. He doesn't put a foot wrong. Lots of 8s. This guy at the moment is one of our players of the season on with Big Gabby and others. If Gyokeres a 9, then Timber's a 9. Nah, come on. Gyokeres scored and should have had 2 assists or at least 1 assist. I mean, he was a big part of why we actually won the game. Can't say Timber was testing the same way, but I hear you. Timber was very good, and we're splitting hairs on very, very good players. So, yeah, I respect your thoughts, but I think it's fair to say Gyokeres was a level above. Yeah, all right, cool. Saliba and Gabriel. Get me those in the chat. What are you going for? What are you going for with Saliba and Gabriel? I think I'm going to go for do you know what? They were as good as Timber. Saliba 8, Gabriel 9. Saliba 8, Gabriel 8, Saliba 7. Gabriel 9, Saliba 7. Did you guys think Gabriel was a level above Saliba in this game? Like, defended brilliantly his penalty area, sure, but didn't Saliba too? I mean, Leo actually thinks Saliba was better than Gabriel. I think Gabby is sensational. Oh, Gabby assist. Oh, crap. Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, Gabby above. All right, if you all agree. Okay, all right, you've all swayed me. Some saying no, Saliba's better, but Gabby has got the assist. Okay, all right. You know what? And to be consistent with previous streams, I've always said if you have a decisive moment, like a goal or assist that leads to a kind of key moment like that, a key moment in the game, then I'm going to kind of kind of give that a little bit extra. So, all right, but I thought Saliba was great as well. Saliba, Gabriel 9 clearances, Saliba only 4. Is that right? Wow, great numbers. First half Gabby, second half Saliba. Look, Saliba's a terrific player. Good to see him back and actually looking sharp, having missed the midweek and coming off at half time against Palace. So yeah, good to see him doing well. Calafiori, I thought was great again. But I think I'm comfortable with an 8 for Cala as well. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with an 8 for Cala. What do you all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Dead Certs loves Calafiori, he says. 7, 8, 8. Cala was class. Cala solid 8. He's really grown into this, guys. I mean, do you remember what people were saying about him, me included? I was saying that he struggles on one-on-one defending. You're not seeing that at the moment. A lot of people were saying he's not a fullback, he's a centre-back. But sometimes you need time. And I thought he was really, really, really good, Calafiori. In terms of just like the all-round game, really good control. The reason I was hesitant about whether I was comfortable giving him an 8 instead of say like a 7 was because I wondered, like, did he have as many kind of moments that for whatever reason in my head I seem to remember kind of Timber's best moments over Cala's. I don't know. But yeah, you all agree 8. I'm happy with an 8. I was just wondering, is it 7 or 8? But yeah, I mean, there are a few 7s. I think some of you are seeing it the way I'm seeing it. 7.5 is really growing to this free roaming role. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right. Let's go into the midfield. I want to give Zubimendi an 8 as well, people. I thought Zubimendi was very good. I thought he played some brilliant, brilliant passes. What are your Zubimendi ratings? Get them in the live chat now. I thought Zubimendi just kept everything ticking, was passing through the lines really, really well. And I just felt he was like, I want to say the game ran through him, but I actually felt it ran more through Rice. I thought Rice on the ball was as impressive as Zubimendi. Some of his switches of play, some of his passing in general through the lines. I thought Rice was really good. I will give him his rating in a sec. But I think Zubimendi was class too. Nearly played a lovely ball. Did play a lovely ball over the top to Trossard in the first half. Generally, just like, again, everything was kind of flowing through him, wasn't it? Did play 1 or 2 passes that weren't great. Zuby breathe. James, that's an 8. Very good. John, I'm happy with a 9, but I agree that Havertz can put in that performance. That Havertz can give us that. I agree. And in the run-in in 2024, we saw that from Kai. So yeah. Although I think Gyokeres is still a bit more in the wars. He's more back to goal, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more ball carrier. But yeah. Different players though. Okay, so people are quite happy with the 8 for Zubimendi. Zubi was an 8, but Rice was so much better, says Peter. I think I agree with this. Get me your Declan Rice ratings in the chat right now. And I'm going to, gunning for glory, I'm going to answer this with Sharoy on the podcast on Monday. Get us your Rice ratings in the chat right now. I know what I'm going to give him. I just want to know if it's the same as what you're all going to give him. While I do that, we're just getting the match reaction out on Goonerverse News. So apologies, everyone. This is all a little bit tight for time, and obviously Tottenham kick off against Chelsea. So that was important. We get the live in before that. All right, match reaction is out on Goonerverse News, so go check that out after this stream. But thank you to the 1,000 of you who are here. 1,000 people, I know you're not all subscribed. Please. I never normally beg like this, but I'm so close to 60K. And as my amazing girlfriend said, that would fill the Emirates, which is, yeah, blew my mind when I sort of thought about it like that. Yeah, please do get me to 60K if you haven't subscribed yet and you like this kind of content. And hit the like button if you're enjoying this stream. We're back at this setup because we had internet problems the last time we did the live stream from the usual set. We're having teething issues. We're working it out. Max and we're working hard to bring a lot of content, a lot of shows, and just trying to like master the production on each one. So yeah, as I said, please subscribe. 20 people dipped from the live stream. You lot are funny. But thank you so much. Okay, thank you to those who are subbed. I really appreciate it. I'm seeing a lot of 10s in the chat. There's a lot of 9s. There's a lot of 10s. Undeniable 10s, some are saying. Lots of 9s, but lots of 10s as well. 10 general, people are calling him. Rice 10, but some 9s. People, for me, it is a 10. I'm going to give him a 10. Now I know that people will say, but come on, a 10's for what he did at the Bernabeu and what he did. And I might have said that in previous streams, but I think you can only judge them up against what they were doing today, who they're up against today. And I'm happy with giving him a 10. I thought his passing was sensational. I thought his carrying with the ball was sensational. His winning back possession, brilliant. Best ball winning midfielder in the world. Gets a great goal with a lovely header that seals us the points. We're talking about a 6/8 box-to-box midfielder here. Having this much, I mean, it's an all-round impact on the game. It's a captain's performance to impact the game. It is doing everything you could possibly ask of him today to win us this game. Now, of course, if you've got a hat trick, then that's a 10 too, but you're not expecting him to get a hat trick. That's what you're judging Gyokeres on or a Saka on. It's getting those. To get a 10 for Rice is different to what Gyokeres or Saka has to do to get a 10. They're judged in different ways. I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy with the 10. Now, when we review these, I might drop Gyokeres to a 9 and Rice to a 10. But these are the guys who got, when you look at this now, Gyokeres, Rice, Gabriel, they're the ones who got the goals and the assists. And I get this, right? You give that a 10 if it's his performance at Anfield, but I'm happy giving him a 10. I don't think I could have asked for any more from Rice today. I couldn't have. I thought he was absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. And people will say, yeah, but it's only a 10 if you can't improve on a performance. There'll always be things you can do. There'll always be a misplaced pass. There'll always be a missed tackle. I just think he did everything I could have asked of him today. Declan Rice, sensational. Happy to give him a 10 for that. Okay, now we're going into the forwards. I want to start on the negative. It's a kind 6 for Bukayo Saka, who I absolutely love. And if you don't think I love him, just go and look at what Sharoy and I said on a podcast only a few weeks ago. He should have scored twice. He was through on goal twice and really should have been game, set, and match. He wasn't beating his fullback. It just didn't happen for him. And that's okay, because it's happened for him plenty of times before. And it's been happening for him very recently. brilliant against Atletico Madrid, brilliant against Newcastle. I mean, our best player against Fulham by a country mile. I love him, but it didn't happen for him today. But that's why you have other players who then step up in other ways. Because I thought today, Trossard. Do all these ratings need to come one down? So let's do it. Let's do this. Okay. I'm just wondering whether they all need to come one down. Trossard I thought was great, and Eze I thought was very good. Give him a 7. Is that fair? Those are my ratings. Look, I thought Eze was much better on the ball today. Did a lot of good stuff like turning players, quick feet, driving through the heart of midfield. Did some things in a really kind of free roaming role. And I was saying this in my match report that's just gone out. When he goes here, right? Rice goes here and Zubimendi goes here. Have you noticed? They pivot as a trio. And then when Eze goes here, Rice goes here, as Zubimendi sits. And if he goes here, Timber might tuck in. And if Timber doesn't tuck in, Calafiori might tuck in. But sometimes it's Rice sitting with Calafiori going up. Sometimes it's Trossard tucking in with Calafiori going wide. But I just felt that the alternating of these players was really, really good to see from a midfield who are comfortable in all these areas of the pitch. Declan Rice has shown he's comfortable getting up and down. Mendy has shown he can glide around the pitch and make things happen. And Eze is the kind of player you want to give a free roam to. You know what, everyone? Arsenal we're top of the league. We're opening a bit of a gap now. Okay, there's games in hand for others to play. I think I'm comfortable, with these ratings. We'll talk about the manager in a second. We haven't really spoken about him in good detail for a little while. We'll go through your super chats. But I'm quite happy with these being the ratings. I think the defense for another clean sheet, I think they deserve 8s and 9s. Gabriel goes and gets another assist. And I think Saka and Eze and Raya were probably the 3 players I have the least to say about. But Eze was better than Saka, for sure. You could say Trossard maybe deserves a 9, but he did get an assist. What if... Oh, I'm going to pitch something to you all. Let me know in the chat if this is more fair. 7, 7, 7. Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. Yeah. 8. It's difficult. I'm just wondering whether everything should be 1 rating down. Except for Trossard. Does that look more fair, people? I don't think it does. I think I was happy with how it was before. Jimmy says that's better. Yes. Yeah. Joe disagrees. Yes. Yeah, perfect. Yes. Gyokeres 9. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with that. Yeah. Okay. I think I'll settle on that. I think I'm happy with that. Okay. Yeah. It feels a touch hard. I thought Eze was better than a 6. This is really difficult. Done Rice dirty. Nah, do you know what? I don't care. I'm doing it. We're going back. This is the most carnage player ratings you've ever seen. I'm doing it. I'm standing on business. We're sticking with it. There we go. I'm doing it. I thought Eze was good. Very good, in fact. I think Zubimendi was class. I think Rice, like I said, couldn't have done much more. Couldn't have asked more of him. Do you know what's difficult? Is I'm there thinking like, Trossard, why doesn't he get a 9 where Gabriel got a 9? That's kind of where I'm thinking. But then he wasn't as good as Gyokeres. And Rice was the best player on the pitch. So I'm happy with that. Well, the thing is, 5 is fine and 6 is pretty good. There's not a lot in it, people. Really, I should do these all out of 5. I think if I did these out of 5, like 5-star, this would be a lot easier. Anyway, we're ironing out the teething issues with these shows. I'm happy with that, people. Let's have a look at the Arsenal bench quickly. Not that there's anything to say. I said I wanted to say a few things on the manager. I mean, basically, actually, should we look at the stats quickly? 13 shots. Unbelievable. To Burnley's 4. 9 of them on target. That's very efficient. 56% of the ball. And look at where we are on the table. 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat in 10 games. 18 goals scored, the most in the league, albeit some people have a game in hand. Another clean sheet with only 3 goals conceded. It's sensational. It's absolutely sensational. What Arsenal have delivered defensively, but also, you know, we are 1 draw at Anfield away from that being almost perfect. We're a win at least against City at the Emirates from going, I don't know if I could have asked much better. I mean, of course, you look at these 2 games where we drop points and you think, you know, I want to beat City at home. I don't want to be losing at Anfield. We could easily have 3 more points on that board. But you know what? I think we've got to be really happy with our efforts. Top of the league and 5 wins in a row, but more, right? I think it must be more in the league. We're going to wrap up because Tottenham are about to kick off as well. But just to show you the lineups were here, and on came Nkapé, Norgard, Waneri, Marino, Luskelly. I mean, Marino's the only one we can kind of judge fairly. I'll give him a 5, 6. Didn't really do a lot, did he? Came on, kind of got about. Waneri, I think Waneri should have slipped the ball through for Trossard, but he didn't, so whatever. It was a lovely turn to kind of make space for the shot. Everyone else, cool, standard 5, 6, whatever you want to give him. I want to say fair play to Mikel Arteta, you know, because Mikel, look, I have no problem saying when I've got something wrong. And I sat here after the Man City draw, and it was the strongest I've been on Mikel Arteta for a long time. I said the way he approached that 11 against Man City, followed by not learning from Liverpool, I thought, yeah, I don't think this is the guy. I really felt for the first time that I don't know if he's got what it takes to go and grab the Premier League. Now, look, you can look at this in 2 ways. A, because I wasn't the only fan. A lot of fans said it. Say we were all completely wrong. All of us were wrong. And Arteta knew what he was doing, and he's brilliant. Now, that's probably what it is, right? Mikel Arteta probably knows what he's doing more than all us fans. But you could also look at it as he saw Man City really respect us in a way we've never seen before, going to a 5-5 to see out the game. He saw Liverpool struggle to create any chances against us. He saw Newcastle on the back foot at home, which he made happen by starting Eze. And I think he himself has stopped and gone, like, we're even better than I think even he thought. You know, someone said, I think Stroy might have said this, could that 1-1 with City be the catalyst for change for Mikel in the same way the 4-1 defeat at the Etihad was a few years ago? Only it worked the other way, where maybe at the Etihad he realised we weren't as good as he thought. Maybe this time he realised we're better than he thought. Or maybe he always knew we were this good and we needed to keep the faith a little more. Could be either one. But he's doing a tremendous job, Mikel. Tremendous job. This is the best start to any season he's had. I know people will point to 22-23. When you look at the defense, with the football we're playing, with the results we've had, the teams we've played, the hurdles we've overcome, this is the best start he's ever had to an Arsenal campaign. There we go. I read yours, Prithviraj. Thank you very much. Jamie says, James, you made a point before about Gyokeres unlocking spaces. Is so true. Thank you so much. I feel smart because I've been defending this guy loads, and I think we've been seeing the kind of impact he could have on this team. People just kind of, because it wasn't always coming off, I don't think people were seeing what was potentially going to happen. Not everyone, a lot of you were. But a lot of people were kind of saying, oh, heavy touch. Yeah, poor pass. And I was going, yeah, but look what he's trying to do. Like, look at the areas he's attacking. Okay, we've got that pass wrong. If we get that right, what can we do to teams? I think I've said this before. I think the team is very happy with Victor Gyokeres, and they certainly will be today. Says, we're now not even scoring straight pieces. Teams now defend better, but we're smashing it in off the edge of the box and cutting it back from headers. Very good point. Abiola says, definitely the worst game I've seen Saka play for us. I love him, but I give him a 5. But amazing, we still cruise. Whenever should start next game. Eze on the left. And Jamie says, top of the league, they can all have 10s. Exactly. We have a bit of laugh on these streams. They're about the community. They're about all of you coming in and having your say with me. So, yeah, it's not such an official ratings. It's just having a bit of fun while we talk about the players. I'm going to leave it there, everyone. Tottenham have just kicked off against Chelsea. What result do you want in that? We never want Tottenham to win, obviously. But imagine we want a draw. Let me know your thoughts. And the reaction is out on my channel as well. All right, big thanks for all your help with the ratings. I really enjoyed it. I'll be back with content on Monday. So, Loose Cannons and the Goonerverse podcast will be out on Monday. Both of them out on Monday, but very different pieces of content. So please tune into both. And yeah, big thank you to everyone who has joined us for the live. And we'll be back with another post Slavia Prague on Tuesday night. Catch you in a bit.